On the Hattori, and Dooblakek coming in on that Black Knight.
You know what? Pretty standard picks overall. Of course, we've seen definitely the EU teams pull out the Ulgrim and the Wushang kind of combos. Wushang's definitely been getting a lot more love in the 2v2 space. On the other side, definitely seen our fair share of Orions and Hattoris as well. Nothing too weird here.
Yeah, we've had some nerfs recently coming in recent patch notes, mostly looking at blasters. That's probably the biggest change. There was a little bit of a Wushang nerf on that side signature for the spear, but I don't think that's really going to steer people away.
Combo.
Okay. Oh, didn't quite have enough damage on him to send him far enough into Shadow's GC side signature that came out. He was just a little bit behind.
But I like that they showed their hand a little bit, showed that they got some stuff in the tank that blue team's now going to have to be worried about. If they're left in those 1v2s, they got to be careful about getting stuck in that sandwich. Another opportunity here, Dooblakek.
Okay.
Just going to eat that down, Sig.
And there you go. That's a signature that is very strong on Wushang that people love to use.
Oh.
He's using it in neutral. He's using it to combo off of his teammate. He's also using it to clean up KOs as well. The entire signature kit. You're seeing him move over to the side stick. He did hit his teammate with that previously, but he just picked up a KO onto Rygunduz. He also just used the light attack kit with a D-Light into the recovery earlier. Fi's going crazy.
Yeah, dude, Shadoww and Fi are looking like a very solid 2v2 team. They're doing all their combos. They're getting all these setups, doing a really good job target swapping to make sure they can continue their combos. Fi coming in here, tried to interrupt Dooblakek, but it is going to be Shadoww who falls. Fi going to fall right behind him, but checking the stock count, Rygunduz already on his final one. Fi and Shadoww just lost their first stocks.
Yeah, Fi is basically white until he just got hit just now. Now, I believe Fi used to play with Beware of Chair, did get punished for that held down signature. Used to play with Beware of Chair, but really in this team, you need to beware of Fi. He's doing such a great job here against this blue team. They're still holding on to this lead. Now they're putting the pressure out onto Dooblakek. Great follow-up from Shadoww with the neutral signature, sending down, giving him plenty of time to put some hurt on Dooblakek. Didn't quite get the KO with the down signature follow-up.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a solid 2v2 team. This is more than just two strong players coming together. This is a team that's practiced together. They have their setups, and what's great is that they have multiple different routes. They're not just constantly going for the same setup. It's like any single hit that Fi gets, Shadoww has a follow-up ready for.
It's that improvisation that they are almost always ready to do off of one another. There is no fishing for, oh, we're looking for the perfect setup here where all the pieces need to fall into play. Like, no, they're just ready to go right away. They're, you're going to hit him over to me? All right, I'm going to hit him. Yet another down sig KO. There was some damage that came out from Dooblakek, and there you go. He picked up the D-Sig on a different side to send Dooblakek back towards his teammate. All of the previous ones were on the side that was closest to the blast zone because he was looking for the KO or hoping to send them off stage, so maybe for a setup for an edge guard. So he's able to use that down signature and specifically time it to send towards the blast zone or send away from the blast zone towards his teammate.
Yeah, really good utilization coming out from Fi. You talked a little bit about how Wushang got some nerfs on that spear side sig, and I think as a result of that, a lot of Wushangs have been picking up that gauntlet down sig. That's been, we've seen that across the board being utilized a lot more. Getting into the next one, what's going to be the changeup for Rygunduz and Dooblakek?
They're hoping a different map is going to change things up here with the two soft platforms on the top. Maybe that'll give them a safe haven. Maybe that'll be a little bit of a sort of made-up wall between them if their opponents are trying to push those team combos further. But if we look, they need to shut down the signature game of Fi, or at least punish him more often. The neutral sig came out, did whiff, and he did get punished for it, but last game he threw out 10, hit 60% of them, Duke. That is 6 out of 10. That's incredible. Yeah,
that's some great accuracy coming out from Fi. Ooh, Shadoww just off the mark. Dooblakek going to bounce a little too high for that, but Dooblakek getting deep into the red. He's going to eat that end sig, going to be the first one to fall.
And that's where, yes, there is a nerf to the spear side signature, but it's just like all of the other signatures are also, you know, they're really good. A lot of players also love to use the other signatures, even when the side signature on spear was at its full power.
Yeah, it's not a one trick anymore, right? It's like the entirety of the kit now is just really solid. But blue team looking a little bit better here in game number 2 as the stock count, well, wasn't too bad as Rygunduz goes down.
So he's gotten a KO with Gauntlet side signature, Gauntlet down signature, Gauntlet neutral signature. We haven't seen Spear. There was just a Spear side signature.
He did get a KO with the Spear neutral.
That is correct, but he hasn't gotten one with the side or the down. If he gets those, then he's completely utilized that kit basically to its fullest, done such a great job.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely got to fill out the signature bingo card if possible. Dooblakek going to come down, hit that Spear down signature. Like I said, looking a little bit better here in game number 2, but Shadoww able to dodge away. No team combo coming out from the blue team.
Now, you brought up about the Wushang players kind of leaning more on the gauntlets, but on the other side, if we look at Shadoww, he's not leaning on his other weapon hardly at all. Even last game, 500 damage on the axe, 0 on lance, 0 on unarmed. So he is very much an axe player, and if you're going to be an axe player, this current meta is, you know, it's a pretty good time to be an axe player.
Yeah, I mean, this used to be where Axe would thrive the most, right? Is in this 2v2 space, going for those follow-ups. Shadow's definitely leading into it. Fi gonna get that down signature to take down Rygunduz to his final stock here. But Shadoww, like, I cannot fault him for sticking with his Axe because it's just been working really well for this team.
Now on the other side, the damage between the two players and the two weapons, it's been tough. Last game, it was under 400 damage for both of them, under 300 for Dooblakek, so they're truly getting shut down here. The red team is doing such a fantastic job in the neutral, in the edge guards. Nice save, but what? Fi is ready. He's ready there to take him out, follow up with the down air off of Rygunduz. Now Rygunduz is in the 1v2, and we'll see what he's got for us. He sent Fi away. There wasn't any major push from Shadoww right away, but once Fi got back over to the stage, then Shadoww started to push just a little bit because he had his teammate there to keep him safe.
Oh, neutral light thrown out. Fi still able to find that follow-up and a GC side light there. Rygunduz will get the wall touch. Hattori movement speed helping him out there. Recovery, but he actually drifts out of it. Red team going to get split here, but they have more stocks behind this. They shouldn't be worried too much.
Somehow Shadoww was able to get back. He used the movement of the in-air side air, went really down low, and then Fi came in, so Rygunduz actually turned his attention away from Shadoww, ultimately not getting that stock, which meant they still had the man advantage. There was no time where Shadoww was respawning back in the game, so they were able to clean up that KO. And look at Fi, man, 670 damage, 5 KOs, doing incredible work. Shadow's no slouch either. Obviously, he is a part of all of those team combos. He's playing just a strong neutral game. He's a strong player that Fi can just like lean on. Sometimes he's the combo starter, sometimes he's the combo ender, sometimes he's the combo continuer. This is a really good team, which is exactly why when I pointed out the 2-0 in favor of Rygunduz and Dooblakek, you pointed out that that is not anything that you cannot come back from. It is very possible to come back and just do work, which is what this red team is doing. I'm blown away.
Yeah, this is some incredible 2v2 play coming out from the Australians here. Fi and Shadoww about to 3-0 Rygunduz and Dooblakek, who I believe are kind of the favorites of this matchup at the very least.
They're definitely struggling. Like, Shadoww and Fi are making Rygunduz and Dooblakek not look like we would expect Rygunduz and Dooblakek to look. So many things are just getting outright shut down. Again, Rygunduz under 400 damage coming in at 316. Dooblakek just doing barely over 400 at 409, which isn't terrible if your teammate is Fi and he's doing 670. So both players, I hate to say it, but they're just getting outplayed by this red team.
Well, I will say they're doing a pretty solid job here in game number 3. Dooblakek the least damaged on the screen. They're doing a really good job of kind of not letting this red team get set up. Rygunduz is going to get that hand up outside and take down Fi there.
That was a beautiful play, really from both Spear players, because it started off with Fi's side air sending Rygunduz to the edge, and then the Spear from Dooblakek sending Fi over to the edge, and then Rygunduz having the wherewithal in the moment to grab that turnaround and pick up that sword side air to get the KO.
Looking the most even we've seen from these two teams so far. Shadoww trying to get that Axe 3 piece, but he's going to end up eating that side light recovery. Double down light, but no follow-up there from Dooblakek.
Seemed like they were on a little bit different pages there on when the exact time for Dooblakek to follow up would be. I don't think he was expecting Rygunduz to go for the double D-light, but the Spear player in Rygunduz really came out there and he saw that he could pick up the double D-light, so he went for it.
Yeah, that is one of the like kind of weird challenges of 2v2s is like if you're a 1v1 player, you want to go for those optimal extra hits, but sometimes you need to go for the obvious thing so your teammate can get that extra hit and maybe get even more.
And that's so tough because like in that moment, Rygunduz knew the dodge came out so he could pick up that double D-light. If Rygunduz wasn't, or whichever player, if they couldn't look in that moment and notice that that dodge came out, then they're just not going to know that information, and there's not really enough time to really communicate that other than like screaming, double D-light, and hoping they get it in time.
Well, Rygunduz does ultimately fall. He's now onto his final stock here in game number 3. The red team managed to slow down the bleed, but Dooblakek gonna hit that end sig.
Blue team with a nice lead here. Dooblakek's survivability is stellar this game. Still very much in the early stages of yellow on second stock. Everybody else on final stocks. Rygunduz is keeping pace with everybody else, and because of that, the blue team is very much in the lead. A little bit of a team combo there. They weren't able to do too much damage onto both members of the blue. That could have been very dangerous for them, but they're able to kind of slow things down and relax and get out of that before a ton of damage was done, and Dooblakek would find himself deep in the red. Now he is in the red, though. Gonna have to be very careful, but so will Shadoww.
I mean, red team definitely needs to take down Dooblakek, but more so, I think they need to take down Rygunduz. Ooh, Fi gets the perfect angle, but he's not there to get the follow-up off of Shadoww. Over to the Gauntlets now. If they take down Rygunduz, they might have a chance, but Shadow's gonna fall here. Can he get the 1v2?
Seems like we're going to be moving into a game 4 here with a 2-1 in favor of Shadoww and Fi. See what Fi's able to do here. Does have Rygunduz very much in the red. Nice spot dodge into the D-Light recovery. Gravity canceling it.
I think that weapon toss actually ate the force there. Nice GC side sig finally. Rygunduz and Dooblakek going to get on the board. Fi and Shadoww going to have to readjust.
And we're seeing juicy numbers here, Duke. We're seeing 624 coming out from Rygunduz, and we're seeing 558 coming out from Dooblakek. I think there were essentially games before where Rygunduz in this game was doing more than both members of the blue team in the previous game. You can see those damage numbers on there right on your screen. That was a really good game for Rygunduz and Dooblakek. It seems like they're waking up.
Yeah. One thing that stands out to me is looking at that signature accuracy. You talked about how earlier Fi hit 60% of his. Ultimately, their team in game number 3, 9% accuracy. And then on the other side, Dooblakek was hitting a lot of those Lance end sigs. You saw 30% accuracy across 10 sigs. Not the best. He only hit 3 sigs, but some of them KO'd, and that's what matters.
You know the math on that. 9% of 11 is, I think it's 1, right? Hit one of them?
Sure.
That's yeah.
That sounds about right, because 10% of 10
it's not
is,
2.
Yeah.
Can't be 2.
That's too many. Well, here we go. Game number 4. Back to Western Air Temple. Fi struggling to pick up that weapon spawn. Blue team really trying to deny. He's trying to dance through all this. Dooblakek taking a little bit more damage here in this one.
And Shadoww seems like he has a sight set on him. He's still available and there if they want to go for the 2v1 for a moment onto Rygunduz. And now it's switched. There's the Gauntlet neutral signature.
That was a tough call.
Dude, Fi is just dastardly with the signatures on his kit. He's so good.
I love the decision to go for the down sig to the left and just send Rygunduz flying. It obviously wasn't going to KO, but Dooblakek was coming in, didn't want to go for that extended string.
Weapon toss goes out. Another weapon toss. Rygunduz following up with that, and because of it, he's going to be disarmed as Fi grabs the spear, but he's able to grab the sword pretty quickly. Dooblakek over on the edge. GC side sig to get back on the stage. He does. No punishment coming out for that. The D-sig over the edge. Dooblakek coming in with the essentially grounded stare right over the corner. Gets the first KO, but Dooblakek this game, his survivability is not what it was in the previous game.
Yeah, I mean, he's about to be in the red on this second stock. He might be on his final stock before Rygunduz even loses his first stock. Dooblakek's got to be careful. Rygunduz is going to fall, but so does Dooblakek. And now blue team is in a very dangerous spot. Dooblakek cannot afford to fall here.
Shadoww must have been getting a little irritated that we were talking about Fi's use of signatures so well. Then all of a sudden, Shadoww showing us some love there on the signature kit to grab that double KO. Still on his first stock. He has as many stocks as the entire blue team combined.
Team combo.
Dude, they're so good. And like Rygunduz is there.
He couldn't get in,
He's there and he's swinging at nothing.
But this might be what he needs. Oh! What was that? Did Dooblakek get in the way?
He did. He ended up taking it. I don't know if he was trying to maybe go in and provide some help, or if he just happened to be a little bit too close when Rygunduz queued up that ground pound. Fi's going to end up falling here. Fi is put on final stocks.
Oh. I think he DI'd up out of that.
They weren't able to put too much damage on the board in that moment, but After that, it's a completely different story. They have him in the orange. Now they have him in the red. He is disarmed.
Yeah, I mean, stock count is technically even, but once again, Dooblakek deep red. He's going to get taken down. It's a trade out for Shadow's stock. It is 2-2 in stock count, but there's only one person on the blue team, and he might take down Fi here. Fi can't get back!
Oh my goodness. This went from like, okay, we'll see what he can do. Yeah, he has 2 stocks. He's going to have to play the Brawlhalla game of his life, to he did play the Brawlhalla moment of his life on that edge guard. Great work.
Now Shadoww has to put in the work and take down Rygunduz. He'll get 1 stock. It's not the worst position for a 1v1, but when it comes to 1v1 players, Rygunduz a little bit more known.
Sidelight try to get the turnaround. D-Light misses the side air as well, but he hasn't taken any punishment for it. Still hasn't taken any punishment for it yet. Has Shadoww in the orange. Oh, dude, Shadoww. He needs to find some hits, and he needs that axe momentum. It's not coming.
He's just getting dares and missing. Rygunduz is punishing him for all of them. Disarmed, over to the right side. Rygunduz with a neutral light. You saw the stars. Okay, the Nair gets him back onto the stage. One more chance.
Oh, from the middle of the stage, Rygunduz winning the 1v2. It started off with that incredible edge guard, got so much mileage off that GC neutral signature to help take out Fi. I'm blown away that Rygunduz was able to get that so quickly. His ability to be like, I gotta find something, and I gotta find it right now when they're not ready. Because if we just reset back to neutral and we go to the middle of the stage and they have the man advantage, I don't think it's coming. His ability to do that so quickly before they knew what was going on, it was a blitzkrieg.
Yeah, that was so good for the blue team and so clutch for the blue team as well, because that absolutely kept them in the game and ultimately was what won it for them. We're going to game number 5. The red team started off looking so incredibly strong, but the blue team's brought it back. Now, whichever team wins this goes to grand finals.
And it wasn't just Rygunduz turning up in that one moment that changed everything. He also did 657 damage, hit 75%. That is 3 out of his 4 signatures. On the other side, Dooblakek hit 50% of his signatures as well. One of them was a side signature for a KO. Can't remember the other one. But also, like, again, Dooblakek did 325 damage. Oh, dude, they're doing so much damage. Did a little bit of team damage, but put so much work in on the blue team.
Yo, but Fi put out to the right side there. Manages to get back. They need to take these stocks off this blue team, though. Down sig thrown out. We'll catch 2 people as Rygunduz with the GC side sig will get the first stock of game 5.
Ooh, almost grabbed that neutral signature from Rygunduz. We did see the D-Sig on the spear coming out from Dooblakek. We haven't really seen that too much from him so far. We've seen several side signatures on the lance, and then, I mean, we even saw a neutral signature basically on stage. There we go. Now he's using that time dashing in, covering a lot of space with it. Great job.
Yo, and now Dooblakek, that survivability is back. Even catches a down sig after his Nair connects onto Shadoww. And Rygunduz just keeps spot dodging these Shadoww dares.
We're seeing that down signature. It seems like Dooblakek all of a sudden realized, like, oh yeah, I'm Orion and I have a spear in my hand. I better press the down heavy button because that's what I'm supposed to do.
It's a really good sig for Orion. Neutralite from Fi will take down Dooblakek. Everybody on their second stocks, but Shadoww the most damaged.
A little bit of unarmed team damage coming out from Dooblakek onto Rygunduz over on the edge.
Shadoww.
Oh, is Shadoww gonna fall here? The D-Light into the ground pound gets the KO. Rygunduz is spacing on the beginning of that to stay away from the initial hits before Shadoww got stuck under the stage. That set the stage for that edge guard that they could finish up with a KO. Great work from Rygunduz.
Yeah, Shadoww was so hungry for that KO on the right side. He was swinging. There's the down sig, but he doesn't get the launch, so Shadow's side sig just gonna whiff. Rygunduz takes down Fi. Blue team looking to put this one away.
And I think it was actually that Nair that did the team damage onto Dooblakek to get him out of that combo. Even though it sent him back over into Shadoww, I think it messed up the timing because, who was it? Because Fi was about to queue up a D-Sig, which you're stuck in that for some serious time while he does the womp and does the final blast. So that messed up the timing, so he didn't get hit by that final hit. So the Nair on the teammate was a fantastic choice.
Yeah, and there was some good coverage there a second ago from the red team as Fi did throw out that down sig. Shadoww gave him some protection from behind, but once again, this red team cannot afford damage. Nice interrupt there. Opportunity, Rygunduz not going to give them any chance. You can see him staying very high.
Yep, he went all the way over to that soft platform. Winfi ripped him off of it with that neutral air, sending him down, giving time for Dooblakek to spawn back in. You're seeing these recoveries. He's trying to fish him up high to take out 5 from this game. A little bit of regroup time from everybody.
Ooh, Shadoww really just trying to stay out of the fight. Wants to be around, but the recovery from Rygunduz makes it a 1v2 Fi. Does not have a lot of health, does not have a weapon. He's going to dodge through.
Are Dooblakek and Rygunduz going to take this right out from under Shadoww and Fi? They came out of the gate swinging. They were blasting. They were doing such a great job. And then all of a sudden, Rygunduz and Dooblakek woke up. Incredible.
They did such a good job splitting this red team, denying them their combos. The combos were the thing we highlighted in game 1 and game 2. Blue team said, okay, what happens when you don't have those?